Well, today, hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about using the dictionary. Okay, so you get ready because, man, we have a lot of things to talk about. Today I will even slow down a little bit because there are so many things that I can share with you. For example, let me try to use now the WordPad because I think it's something that I have to say to you. So you have on screen the using, let's see, it's not working still, so just hold on. Remember, get your pen or pencil, get your paper, and let's get ready to do so, okay? The idea of these classes is that they are going to help you out. Man, what is it there? We are going to have a movie, okay? I'm going to suggest a movie later. This movie, just before I forget, it's something related to the dictionaries, of course. Okay, now you see it using the dictionary. Okay, so let's see. Well, remember that a dictionary is a regular book. I like to tell people like this, that a dictionary can be considered a regular book. There is just one thing that makes it different from the other ones. It usually brings words. So let's put like this. It's a regular book that is related to the words. Okay, but not only words. Remember that we can have words, expressions, right? Dictionaries nowadays, they are so huge. They are so full of things. They are so rich. So you can have almost everything you can imagine we have dreamed of in one of the modern dictionaries. And by the way, you see behind me here lots of friends of mine. I call them friends of mine because every time I'm in trouble, and sometimes I am, of course, I need to get to my dictionaries. And people ask me, Jerry, but how many dictionaries you have? Man, I have too many. I don't know exactly, but believe it or not, I have about, 50, 60 dictionaries, and even dictionaries from the 1940s, 1950s, or 60s, or 70s, but especially from the 80s and the 90s, and of course, modern ones, okay? Not to mention the online ones. So let's talk about these, okay? So the dictionary is a regular book. It brings words and it brings expressions. Remember that nowadays we have two kinds of dictionaries. We have what we call the paper-based, okay, the physical ones, as Brazilians like to say, and we have the online ones, okay? We say online, but if you want, you can also say, because some people say like this, computer-based. When we say computer-based, remember that we can also mention dictionaries like this one here, okay? Because this dictionary, the Longman Dicionário Escolar Inglês, Português, Português, Inglês, this is what we call the bilingual dictionary. So this kind of dictionary brings to you the words, for example, in Portuguese, in English, normally without any definition. So let's put here some characteristics, man, my spelling. So we have some characteristics of these dictionaries. So they have, and they bring, let's say first, they bring the word. And for this word, they bring the word class. If the word is an adjective, the word is a verb, a noun, etc. What else? It brings the pronunciation, those symbols that some people do not really understand, but they are useful. That's why you need to learn how to read those symbols that indicate the pronunciation of the word. What else? The dictionary may bring the dictionary brings the definition of the words, okay, the explanation, the meaning, whatever you want to call it. Some dictionaries bring the some sentences. Let me put here some samples. I would say like sentences, okay? Sometimes clauses only, just parts, okay? The clauses are just parts of sentences, okay? And of course, some dictionaries, like the bilingual ones, they bring the translation, Okay? So the most important thing, at least for me as a teacher of English that wants the students to speak English, is the definition. Because if you know the definition of the word, you know how to explain the word in English, you don't need to bring that into Portuguese. As I say, avoid Portuguese by all means. Okay? And one more thing that is important is that the dictionaries usually bring the words in alphabetical order. Okay? So this is important because all these things are the ones that the students need to realize, that although we have this technological era now, the dictionaries did not evolve that much. I mean, they are not totally different from what they used to be, let's say, centuries and centuries ago. About what? Almost 1,000 years ago. Okay? One more thing that people ask is, but Jerry, how many words should I know related to the English language? Well, I would say that minimum, not to say that you don't know that much, try to know at least 6,000 words. I would say here, the minimum, to be considered a guy that speaks good English. Good, not excellent. At least understandable English. You need to be able to use at least 6,000 words. Unfortunately, some courses, I would say most English courses, are not going to give you 6,000 words. That's why you need to read with attention, of course, read in English. It doesn't matter, magazines, sites, blogs, man, invent something, but you read and read things in English. Another thing, try to use dictionaries, paper-based, online ones, CD-ROMs, it doesn't matter, but you use dictionaries. Dictionaries are going to help you a lot. One kind of dictionary that I would say that is very useful that you try to have is the thesaurus. The thesaurus is going to bring to you lots of synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms are words that are similar in meaning. Okay, and they are different words, but they have similar meaning. The antonym is going to be the opposite. So you have, let's say, a word that means this, and then you have like the opposite to that. Okay, so in Portuguese we say like synonym and antonym. This is a very small one, so I try to bring different dictionaries to show you. But then again, Jerry, but if 6,000 words is the minimum, so how many words do you think is going to be at least something that I will be considered kind of fluent in English, proficient in English? Man, double that. Try to learn at least 12,000 words. Okay? You are going to be medium. You are going to be better than you were before, of course. But when you get dictionaries in general are going to bring to you about 35,000 words. Of course, it depends on the dictionary. Okay? These bilingual dictionaries that we have in Portuguese, they usually say that they have, at least the ones I have seen, they say that they have about 6,000 words. You see, if you compare that you know, and you know how to use 6,000 words, man, if you have here 60,000 words, so it's like what? 10 times more than you have to know. But some dictionaries, those bulky ones like this, I have here, for example, the Oxford. Okay, so this is the Oxford ESL dictionary for students of American English. Okay, so this is totally in English. Okay, so this is very useful. So according to this dictionary here, it has over 35,000 words, etc. and etc. Okay, let me pile them up here. So there you are. Let me see if I have another one, but I don't think so. But anyways, I have the Cambridge dictionary, for example. The Cambridge says that it has about 100,000 words in expressions. Guys, it's a lot of words. If you just know 6,000, 10,000 words, yeah, okay, that's good, that's interesting, but that's not enough. Okay, the idea is that you try to be able to use very different words, as I said, synonyms, because you don't need to be using the same the same word over and over again. The idea is to try to be creative. As you have different words, of course, your way of speaking is going to be richer. People are going to admire you because of your great vocabulary. And it doesn't matter if you're speaking Portuguese, if you're speaking English. So either Portuguese or English, people are going to admire you because of that. Okay? So I'm going to show you some other dictionaries that I selected here, like this one. This is the reference guide to American English usage. This is very useful because it's a reference book, and sometimes people do not call some dictionaries as dictionaries, but sometimes, as this case, it comes very easily, and it's a very good one, I can tell you. To make it easier for you, remember that there are dictionaries, as the ones I'm going to show you, that bring photos, like this one here. This is a photo dictionary by Oxford. It's the Oxford Photo Dictionary. It's very, very nice. It brings, of course, photos. And then you have, instead of translation, you have the explanation for that. So it's very colorful, very useful indeed. And according to this dictionary here, we have 2,400 words, both British and American English and etc. Okay? Very nice. It's an old one, but even so, it's very useful. Another one that I have is the English Brazilian, this is the idea now. It's the Oxford Picture Dictionary. And of course, it's very nice. It's one of the dictionaries I use a lot, especially when students ask me, but Jerry, give me one nice dictionary that you have in mind. And then I say something like this. As I said before, it's very useful, like this. Let me show you like this, right? So it's very nice. And it brings translation, okay? This is the English Brazilian Portuguese version. And it's a little bit expensive, I know, but anyways, man, people are so used to getting things for free. Come on, you need to spend some money from time to time. This is nice, and this is for children, okay? This is the Children's Visual Dictionary. Very nice one. I like this kind of dictionary because, as you can see here on the cover, it brings lots and lots of pictures. And this is for children, but man, as an adult, I love this dictionary, and I have it as an online version. I have these as PDF. And as I talked about children, I brought some dictionaries that are referred to children, like this one. This is the Junior Dictionary, okay? I don't have it here. Yes, they have it here. That this dictionary has about 700 entries. Entries are like words, okay? So different things. One that I like so much, and you don't have the word dictionary anywhere. This is one of the ones I told you about. They say here, my first book of words. Okay? My first book of words. Just to tell you, and then you have an idea, this book was published, man, in 1971. It was published in 1971. I have, in fact, a library, a personal library with, I would say today, thousands of books, different kinds of books. And I have, as I told you, books from the 1970s, 1980s, and even before those decades I mentioned. Another dictionary, and a nice one, okay, I don't remember when I bought it. Let me check here the year. It is 1997, you see, kind of old one. This is the Inglês Divertido de Walt Disney, okay? The Inglês Divertido de Walt Disney. Okay, so it's useful. It's of course Portuguese English and English Portuguese. According to the dictionary here, it has about 1,000 words. Not too many, right? I said, Jerry, just 1,000. But man, you said I need to know at least 6,000. So I need to learn what, 6 dictionaries like this? Yeah, Of course, that's the idea. Another one that I have here in my hands is the Dicionário de Inglês Turma da Mônica, and that's very cool. This one, okay? So this is the Dicionário da Mônica, very nice one. According to the guys here, it has more than 800 words, and they are translated, blah, blah, blah. One thing that is interesting, yeah, it's here, so let me show you that I'm taking, so take a look at this. It brings a CD, okay? So, Jerry, but I don't have even the CD player anymore. Man, you try to make it as MP3, I don't know, make it as an audio file, but then you use it. But the most interesting thing is, it's not only for kids. As an adult, I love them. I use these dictionaries very much, okay? Another one that I like, but it's something very personal, is this beautiful one here, the baby's names. And they don't say baby's names dictionary. You don't have the word dictionary here. This is an English version, so it's totally in English, okay? They say here that they have a list of about over, in fact, 2,000 names explaining the origins, the meanings, boys' names and girls' names, okay? Even the price here is in pounds. It's $2.99, okay? So let's say £3. So this is a dictionary, let's say an English dictionary, but not exactly as they call it, babies' names only, okay? Well, let me see another one that I have, and this is very technical, but it's in Portuguese, Portuguese English. Let me see here, is it Portuguese English? Man, no, I don't think, no, yes, it is. They say here, let me just check, it's at the end, but okay. It's the Dicionário de Recursos Humanos. So if you are related to human resources, okay, so this is a dictionary of human resources. Okay, so let me check here the year that it was published. I have one, very nice one for librarians, for example, 1989. Man, 1989, decades ago. So these dictionaries are going to bring to you some kind of idea of how the words can be learned. And remember, definition, the word class, etc. But remember that not all words are listed in just one dictionary. That's why sometimes some taboo words, right, derogative words, curse words, words that in most dictionaries do not really list, okay, because of some tradition, because of the moral of the society, whatever. That's why I took the liberty, because I do that in my classes, and I'm going to show you the Forbidden American English. Forbidden American English. This is something that I, of course, do not show everybody. I'm showing you, but it brings some words, for example, that are taboo words, okay? And you are going to understand what I mean when I show you this dictionary by Glauco Matoso. It's called Dicionarinho do Palavrão e Correlatos. Palavrão. That's it. Okay, so the forbidden word is what we call in Portuguese something like a palavrão. Okay, this dictionary here by Glauco Matoso brings about 4,000 words and expressions. Okay, and I'm gonna say that in Portuguese because then you understand. It brings, for example, xingamentos e impropérios. What else we have here that I can say to you? Okay, vocabulário chulo. So you say then bad words. So though I'm not gonna translate, man, because I'm not gonna do that. But you say, Jerry, how do you say see you in English? I say, man, see you in English you say as. Okay, Jerry, how do I say B-U-C-E-T-A? Well, man, really? Okay, that word in English you can say pussy or other ways. Okay, but remember that this is very, let's say, informal. Remember that most dictionaries are not going to have the word pussy in the idea of the organ, right? The sexual organ. It's probably going to bring the vagina, for example, and then you say, okay, but why do they say vagina, but they don't say pussy, for example. So things like this, as I told you, because of tradition, because of the way of people think morally, so things like this. So that's why you need a dictionary like that. And by the way, they say here that the dictionary, this one, it brings about 1,400 words and phrases. But Jerry, but that's not too many. I know like thousands of words. And I know words like these, I mean, forbidden words. That's why if you just know about 6,000 words, that's not enough. Okay? Well, one more thing that I'm going to tell you now is about my own, right? Say, Jerry, but do you have any book that is kind of related to a dictionary? Yes, I do. Some years ago, let me just check the date because I'm so bad at date these days. In 2019, we relaunched this Inglês de Fachada, okay? So the facade English or the front side English, you can also say. This book of mine brings these words that we have on the facades, on the front sides of the stores. But different from the regular dictionaries, this is a glossary. Jerry, what is a glossary? A glossary is usually a dictionary focused on one field of expertise. So in my case, I decided to focus on the facades. So that's why it's called Inglês de Fachada. If you don't have it and you want it, remember, get in touch with me. I'll give you an example of the word, for example, English. It says here in Portuguese, de or, pertencente or mean, ou, right? Ou relativo à Inglaterra. First meaning, aquele que é natural ou habitante do país. Another meaning, idioma tido como língua franca do momento. And then the translation, English. You see, this is the explanation. But Jerry, where do we find English in town? But man, if you go to one or another school, it's written there, English school. So then the word English is on the facade. Okay, so this is the idea for my book, Inglês de Fachada. Okay, so let me just tell you something that I said a little bit before. When I mentioned that you need to get this as the alphabetical order, remember that it's something that you need to try to do very easily. My suggestion is, if you are going to try to do something, for example, you have letter A, for example, try to go A, B, C, all the words you can imagine. That's good. But why not going like to doing words like AB and AC and AD, and it goes on. I'll give you just some examples because people generally just think of words like this. Letter A, I have lots of words. Letter B, I have lots of words. And words, they also come in alphabetical order, like AA or AB, AC, AD, AE, etc. So a word like this, I would say abyss, for example. AC, I don't know, accident, probably, or acid, I remembered another. Admire, you see, and then you go. Thinking of the idea of a dictionary, and then you say, well, abyss is a noun, for example. Accident, or let's use accidental, okay? It's an adjective, and then you think as a little bit of grammar. Admire, well, admire is a verb. You see, so the dictionary is going to help you a lot when it comes to not only grammar, but also usage. And usage is something very interesting when you check the meanings, okay? So this is something very important. One more thing that I think is very important, because then we are going to talk a little bit about the spelling. Let me just do like this, and let me put it up here so then you can see it. Let me just put it back like this. Remember that when you have a word, let's get a word like, well, let's get admire, right? Admire is here. So just take a look at this. So imagine if I just drop all the vowels that we have in the word admire. If you just look at that, you say, man, what word is that? So you get a little bit confused. So then you see how important it is when you consider the vowels and the consonants. So when you make the vowels disappear, it's impossible to say the word. Okay? So remember that this word here is admire. I'm going to put capitalized like because then you realize. Okay, so you see, if you don't have the vowels, it's impossible to say admire. And remember that you have admire, admiration, admiring. We have the family. And then you learn 1, 2, 3, and more words. And that's sometimes why we do not consider that if you know admire, admiration, and admiring as 3 different words. Okay, they are. But sometimes you say, no, they belong to the same family. It's just one word. You just like have other similar words, okay, that belong to the same family. Remember that. Well, I'm going to show you now something that is more practical. I'm going to show you the online version, okay, of the dictionary. So in this case, you're going to see exactly what I mean, all right? So as the dictionary then, it's going to be something different, okay, just a moment. Yeah, there you have, the dictionary can be Longman, okay? So I'm going to put here any word that comes to my mind, as the word admire, for example. So let's get here the word admire, okay? So you see there you have the word. It says we have a word family. The word family you have admiration, admirer, admirable, admired, admiring. So this is the family. So these are nouns, these are the adjectives, and these are the verb. This is the verb only, come on. And these are the adverbs, okay? So this is important that you learn the word family, because you don't learn only one word, not only the verb, but also the other words, as you can see. Remember that this is the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. You have the link here, so in case you want to see it. Well, you have here the word, the way you pronounce it using those symbols. That is not so easy for people to realize. And then you have here the admire, and then it's a verb. It's a transitive verb. I'm gonna do something a little bit different today, so let me just show you the way you're going to listen to it. This is British English.
Admire.
You see admire, and then you have American
admire.
Admire. You see, you have different ways of pronouncing the words. And then you have the definitions, as I told you. Get the definitions in English. Like number 1, to respect and like someone because they have done something that you think is good, or to respect their qualities or skills. Nice. If you don't know how to read, check the new words. Go to the Portuguese English, English Portuguese dictionary, but you do something for God's sake, because you want to learn. But avoid translation. Try to memorize that. One good thing about this dictionary, you have the sentences here. Man, you can listen to it, but remember, British English only. So listen to it.
I really admire the way she brings up those kids all on her own.
You see, you can listen to this once, twice, thousands of times.
I really admire the way she brings up those kids all on her own.
And then you go one by one. You say, man, the woman said, I really admire. Okay, I'll listen again. And then you go.
I really admire the way she brings up those kids all on her own.
And then one day, because you listen to that once, twice, 3 times, too many times, you're going to say, I really admire the way she brings up those kids all on her own. You don't need to go fast. You can go slowly, and then you speed up, and then one day you're going to speak the way this lady does, or the way Americans, Australians, whoever you want to follow. Here, nice, man. Here we have the thesaurus. Admire, respect, revere, to look up to somebody, to think highly of somebody, to idolize, hero worship. You can use all these words, you see, to say that you admire the person. And one thing that is very useful in English, to use phrasal verbs like this. This is so great. You look up to somebody. When you look up to somebody, it means that you admire someone who is older and who has more experience than you. So then you look up to someone. And one more thing that I told you. If you learned look up to, why don't you learn the opposite, the antonym? If you look up to, the opposite is to look down on, because then you despise, you right? Disrespect the person. You don't consider the person to be that much. So this is very cool, man. This is what you have to do. Try to have fun as you are learning the language. Okay? So then remember what I said before. You have the word, you have the pronunciation of the word, even the way, the written way of pronouncing. You have the definition, the meaning, and then you have the examples, the sample sentences for you to get. And if you go down and down and down, you're going to have the thesaurus, more explanation, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? Remember that this is the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. We have the Merriam-Webster, we have the Macmillan, we have the Oxford. Man, we have too many dictionaries online. Jerry, what is the best dictionary that you remember? I'm going to say the same stuff over and over again. The best dictionary ever is the one you have, is the one you use. Because if you don't use the dictionary, man, it's not going to come to the proper place. What is the proper place? Your brain, your head. Some people have dictionaries in there, not only dictionaries, but the translation, applications, whatever. But they have them on their cell phones or in their cell phones. Man, if you have it in your cell phone, you just use it for translation. You know translation. If you want to learn English, you need to learn English. Learn English, for God's sake. You can use Duolingo, you can use whatever. But you need to speak English. If you don't speak English today, you're not going to speak English tomorrow. So remember, if you want to speak, speak it. And if you want to speak, learn words. And where do you find the best, usually the best explanations for the words? To check the spelling and so forth. The dictionary, online one, paper-based one, it doesn't matter. And one more thing, remember that some people say, oh, I watch series, I watch movies, I listen to music, and I learn a lot from them. I would say most of the time is blah, blah, blah. You're not going to learn them as you wish to. Most people use them for fun, for entertainment. When you choose a movie, try to choose a good one. A movie that is going to bring you something. Something for personal reasons, I don't know, professional reasons, whatever. That's why I'm going to show you now the Professor and the Madman. The Professor and the Madman is a very nice movie, and it brings, I don't know if you know the information, but it brings some information about the origins of the Oxford Dictionary. And there is one good reason for you to watch it. It brings Mr. Mel Gibson. Check his nationality later on. It has only 2 minutes and 11 seconds. It has the subtitles. I won't begin with subtitles, but you see that I will add the subtitles a little bit. I will play about 30 seconds, perhaps 1 minute, and later on, if you want to, go and watch it completely. So let's go.
Inmate number 742, assigned to Block 2.
We have been attempting to make this dictionary for the last 20 years, and I submit that the extraordinary, the unconventional, Mr. Murray, is the solution and our salvation.
The task is gigantic.
And impossible.
There is a way.
We'll ask them to read in search of the words that we want and get them to write the word on a slip of paper.
So this is the good doctor. I'm proud to make your acquaintance.
Well, guys, so you see, this is Mr. Mel Gibson. So this is a very nice movie. If you have a chance to watch it, try to do it. Remember that the internet is there to help you and help you a lot. If you have any kind of trouble, remember, the professor and the Madman, get the official trailer, check if you have the subtitles, the captions, right? And remember that the dictionaries are very useful. If you learn how to use the dictionaries, it's going to help you learn not only words, not only expressions, but most of all, you are going to understand better the English language. Okay? So this is the topic that I wanted to share with you today using the dictionary. Okay? So let me drop it. And remember one thing now. If you want, if you like this video, remember to go there and like it. Remember that you can leave comments. Remember that you can share it. And remember that I will be available at any time you guys need or wish to talk to me. And remember my social networks. Remember to see me tomorrow, probably this morning, and then we are going to be together one more time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.